Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Keith Moy, CEO and co-founder of MoBeatsProductions.com. Be sure to check us out at www.mobeatsproductions for all of your production needs. I want to do this video for all of my up-and-coming producers who are just getting started in the game. One of the things that was really difficult for me getting started was recording vocals. I used to just have the most difficult time getting the vocals to sound right, getting them to sound clear, getting them to sit in the track correctly, and just getting them recorded in a way where they didn't sound amateurish. So I want to give you some tips that hopefully will help you out as you're moving forward, working with the artist and doing the things that you'll be doing from a production standpoint. Number one, make sure that your vocals aren't coming in too hot. And what I mean by that, make sure you're just basically not recording them too loud. And the best way to check the levels of your vocals is to do what's called a scratch track. Do a scratch track. That's when you check, you have the artist sing through a portion of their verse or chorus that they're going to be singing, or that they're going to be rapping, and make sure that your dBs aren't peaking into the red. Make sure you're not getting a distorted sound. Make sure that the artist can hear themselves in the earphones and at a level that's comfortable, where they can really, groove with the track and really give you a good performance. Make sure that your digital audio workstation that you're using, whether it's Pro Tools, Logic, Cakewalk, Reason 6.0, whatever it may be, whatever you're using, just make sure that everything's recording properly, that you have all your settings where you want to have them. Make sure everything is just on point. That way, when you're in the flow of the session, you're not having to stop and try to figure things out or troubleshoot things, but you can just flow with the artist, and there's no interruption, and there's not a lot of technical stuff that you got to stop and do to get things, get things going. So number one, make sure your vocals aren't coming in too hot. Do a scratch track. Check all your levels. Make sure everything's working properly. All your settings are where they need to be. Number two, when necessary, layer your vocals. And what I mean by that is have your vocalist sing like the same thing twice, and it creates a layered effect. And now you want to be careful with this, because it's going to depend on the type of track you're doing, what the sound of that track, what you're trying to accomplish. It's also going to depend on the timbre or the quality of sound of the artist's voice that you're using. Let's say you have a singer that's got a real boisterous, dynamic, raspy, soulful tone. In a case like that, you may not need to layer that artist's vocals. Maybe full enough already. But if you're working with a vocalist who has more of a smooth, jazzy, more of a laid-back tone, their tone is a little more elegant, then it may be necessary to layer things in the verse as well as in your chorus. Also, when it comes to doing harmony, when you're doing different parts, a lot of artists nowadays sing their own backup. And a great way to fill the track up and to get really great harmony is to have your vocalist layer each part that they're singing. So let's say you have a female vocalist and she's singing tenor, alto, and soprano in her harmony on her chorus. Well, have her layer the tenor, have her layer the alto, have her layer the soprano, and then when you go to mix it, you can really mix things to where it sits really full in the track. It has that chorus-like effect, that quartet-like effect, or what, in some cases. So just remember to be wise and creative in layering vocals. Make sure you only do it when it's necessary, but layering vocals can really feel out and really create a nice full sound with your vocals as well. And thirdly, you want to make sure that you mix everything after the fact. Of course, during the session, there's certain things you want to do. You can add some compression, maybe some reverb here or there, and this of course is not a hard and fast rule at all, but I like to mix my vocals after the fact. That way I can really spend time making sure that everything is sitting in the pocket of that track the way it needs to, because you got to remember that the artist's voice that you're capturing is simply another instrument right along with the rest of the instrumentation, and so it has to sit in balance and in sync and in unity with what all the other things that are going on in the track, all the other instrumentation. And you don't want the vocal sitting too on top of the track, or that becomes the dominant part of the song and is imbalanced. You want it to sit in that pocket, in that groove, and you want it to complement everything else that's going on, as well as being complemented by the instrumentation that's already going on in the track. So make sure that you mix afterwards. And I like to let artists know up front, hey, I'm not going to do a whole lot of mixing or tweaking or adding effects right now. I'll do that after the fact, and for the most part I hadn't had an issue. They actually appreciate the fact that you're really going to take time to bring out the best mix that's going to really help them to sound the best and really do the track justice. That way afterwards you can go to town. If you want to add auto-tune, you can add auto-tune. If you need to take certain clips of the vocal performance, isolate certain clips and move them on another track and pan them left or right, you can do that. When it comes, like I said, to layering harmonies, you can pan things left and right, and you can just really play with things and make sure that the vocal performance is really sitting in the track properly and really standing out the way that it should, and in a way that's properly going to represent you and the artist that you're working with. So just to review, number one, make sure your vocals aren't coming in too loud. Do a scratch track. Number two, layer vocals when necessary. Just remember to use discretion and really literally play it by ear. Make sure that you're only doing it where it fits and when necessary, but layer your vocals. That'll help to fill up the track and give you a really great full sound with your vocal arrangements. And number three, what was number three? Oh my gosh. Number three, mix afterwards. Sorry about that. Mix afterwards, and really take time to put things in their place as far as the vocal arrangement and putting the various effects, reverb, delay, whatever type of effects you and that artist want to utilize on the track. That is the best time to do it, is afterwards, when you have time to really focus on mixing, as opposed to making sure everything is on point and the recording is being captured properly. So hopefully these have been helpful to you. Hey, hit me up if you have any questions. MoBeatsProductions.com. For my independent artists out there, best place to go for fully produced tracks. Also for loops, you can get loops that you can then customize to make a song that you have an idea for. My fellow producers, you can get loop packages there as well. Everything's royalty free, and everything's very affordable. I'm here to partner with you as an independent artist in a day and age where the economy is tough. I'm here to partner with you to help meet your production needs. So y'all stay up. Remember, hit me up if you have any questions, and y'all have a good one.